It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Wakey, wakey.
Time to get up.
Good morning, citizens.
Open up them.
Rise and shine!
This is your wake-up call, people.
Come on, the coffee's...
Also, if my kid hops on at any point, I'm going to need somebody to tell me, make me aware, because he's supposed to be cleaning the house.
Ooh, dang.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You think he'd do that?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
You think he'd make that big of a mistake?
Listen. Side story for our Twitch fans.
All right. Twitch only. Here we go.
Yep. So he asked Thursday. Okay, first of all, he spent his brother's money on Fortnite.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spent his brother's money on Fortnite. And then tried to be like, but you said I could spend it. And Cannon was like, dude, no, I didn't. And Chris and I were standing right there when Topher is referencing a conversation that they had. We heard the conversation and we're like, Topher, not once did he say you could spend his money. He said if he had anything left over, he would let you have it. But he was not like, you can spend all 3,000 of my V-Bucks. No, that was not the conversation.
I really hope those equate to a penny each.
So here's the thing. I don't know that it was 3,000 V-Bucks.
Oh, okay.
I just pulled a number.
Okay.
But I know that it was in the thousands. I do know that.
It's got to be a penny each.
I don't know. I don't know what they are. But anyway, so Topher's trying to figure out how he's going to pay his brother back. You know? And so he asks me Thursday night, hey, Mom, can I do anything to earn money so that I can pay Cannon back and also so I can have a couple dollars? And I was like, well, if I come home from work tomorrow and this house is completely clean, the least that you will earn is $15. That's the least you'll earn. Depending on the job that you do, it could go up from there. But if I come home and this house is clean, you'll get $15. So all day, that's kind of what I was thinking about. Like, I get to go home to a clean house. To be sure, my 15-year-old wants to earn money, you know? He even texted me during the day and was like, hey, we're out of Clorox wipes, by the way. And I was like, cool, we have spray and paper towels. You can use that. I come home. The living room looks exactly like it did when I left. There are shoes still in front of the door. Blankets that are laid out on the couch. Pillows everywhere. Walk into the dining room. There's an extension cord across the floor. The kitchen counters haven't been wiped down. The sink isn't clean. Within 2 minutes, I walk in and I look at Chris and I was like, he ain't getting paid. He is not getting money. And not only is he not getting money, but I don't have a clean house.
So is he trying to do it today?
So last night before bed, I popped open the door and I was like, listen, if you want to earn that money, you better get up and clean the house while I'm gone recording. And by the time I make it home, it better be done. And you're only getting $15. I don't care what kind of job you do. That's all you will get. So he was like, well, will you turn my light on before you leave? Sure. So I flipped the switch and walked out the house this morning. We'll see if he does it. Should we start taking bets now?
We'll take bets. Twitch bets. Here we go.
Twitch bets.
Vomit-inducing fun for everybody. Yeah. All right, we're gonna play Onion or Not Onion. We live stream our Tuesday shows on Twitch, so we are joined right now by Brian and his daughter, and we got Rogar in the mix as well, maybe a few other folks. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're gonna play Onion or Not Onion, and you guys can play along too as we do this. But we've got 3 headlines. Mo's playing as well.
Looking.
Don't look over here.
I'm not.
Cheater. 3 headlines. 2 of them are fake from places like The Onion or the Babylon Bee, and the other one is an actual news story. And I'm going to read all 3 headlines, and Mo and our Twitch followers here are going to guess which is the real headline. And you can play along at home, even though this is happening later for you. But, it's new to you, so what does it matter? Here we go. Headline number 1. Study. 95% of ESPN.com visits simply habitual. Headline number 2. Patrick Mahomes quoted as saying, "This loss will motivate me to appreciate what's actually meaningful in life."
Meaningful?
Meaningful.
Like,
meaningful.
Meaningful? Did he say
yes,
it?
meaningful.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
no,
yes.
I thought that it was
I know. I got you.
Okay.
Just trying to make sure.
Okay.
Keeping it clear. I
Okay,
get
cool.
it. Lastly, this guy turned his dad's uncle's skeleton into a fully functional guitar. Which one's the real headline?
Okay, well, I feel like Patrick Mahomes just makes too much sense, so it obviously can't be the real one. Or is it?
What about 95% of ESPN.com visits being simply habitual? That's what
and again, I feel
OrioleJedi
like-
says is the first one.
Well, but see, again, I feel like that one, yeah. Duh. Nobody actually wants to go to ESPN.com and watch or read anything anymore. It's just part of your like daily routine. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you check your email, you check ESPN, and you're like, why am I here? I don't
right.
know.
Well,
I'm going with the third one.
yeah, so Brian, OrioleJedi says number 1, Rogar saying number 3, Lark, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Our friend Rachel
Our friend Rachel.
is joining in as well. She's saying all of them, which I think she did last week too. And obviously that's not how this game works. The correct story is: an inventive gentleman has paid the ultimate tribute to his deceased uncle, turning the late metalhead's skeletal remains into a fully functional guitar. It may seem morbid, but there's actually a really endearing story behind the Skelecaster. As Metal Sucks reports, a man who goes by the moniker Prince Midnight, so already we're off to a cool start, has just finished constructing a guitar out of his Uncle Philip's bones. Definitely a bit freaky, but it is quite some time since Philip passed. Tragically, he died more than 20 years ago as a result of a car accident. Philip's skeleton has been donated to a local college in Greece, where it was used for educational purposes for 2 decades. When the school no longer needed the skeleton, it was returned to his family. With Orthodox Greeks frowning upon cremation and the cost of burial too expensive, Prince Midnight and family were at a crossroads as to what to do with Philip's remains. First, I don't want to keep saying his name. Prince Midnight,
Prince Midnight.
who appears to live in Florida, of course, had to deal with a lot of red tape just to gain possession of the skeleton, as he had to file and refile tons of paperwork to what is that? Repatriate. I don't know what that is. To get Philip's remains. After finally receiving the remains, he ultimately decided to pay homage to his metal-loving uncle by turning Philip's skeleton into a guitar. And this is what he said. He said, "So I got the box of bones from Greece, and I didn't know what to do at first. Bury them, cremate them, put them in the attic. All seemed like poor ways to memorialize someone who got me into heavy metal. So I decided to turn Uncle Philip into a guitar, which proved to be challenging. I did a lot of research, and no one has ever made a guitar out of a skeleton. So I did it.
You
I
don't
started out
say.
consulting with 2 guys in Dean's Guitars Workshop in Tampa, but they got cold feet. Anyways, now Uncle Philip can shred for all eternity."
Oh, man.
That's how he would want it. "I'm super proud of the project and how it serves to honor him, his life, and his influence on me." So you see the photo of this here. It's the guy's rib cage over the area where, you're strumming on the guitar. The skull has been taken off, and in place, that's where the neck of the guitar is. But also just the rest of his spine and his pelvis are just hanging out
Yeah.
down at the bottom.
I mean, listen, I will say it's kind of cool looking.
It looks cool until you remember this is a legitimate, actual somebody's skeleton.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
over
then
20
you're like,
years old, though. Nah.
"Oh, that's fine." Yeah.
It doesn't bother me at this point. And it was used for research at a university, so I'm sure that they did all the proper cleaning and, all of the stuff, all of the things. I'm sure they did all that.
Oh, we will forget about the story and just
At
move
this
on.
point, it's like playing with the skull at the dentist. You all do it. Everybody does it.
It's not a real skull.
How do you know it's not a real skull? You
I'm
asked?
almost certain.
I don't know.
Because they make a big deal about the fact that there's one real skull in like Treasure Island ride over at Disney. Like if every dentist had an actual skull sitting in their office, people would be making a big deal about it. Did you know there was a real skull in the Pirate Treasure Island?
That's what the world wants you to think, Matt.
There's skulls all over
What
this
have
place.
we learned from 2020?
Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Rogar helped us out there. Frost is also in the building. Hey, Frost. Like I said, we're live streaming our Tuesday shows on Twitch. Glad to have, not on Tuesday, but we're recording our Tuesday shows on Twitch. Glad to have you here. Yeah, so interesting story.
Right now, I've got 5 random facts for you.
But do you?
I do.
Because I feel like you just pulled your phone out. Because it's on camera. And so there's no hiding it.
Why are you calling me out? Listen, I called myself out. I don't need you doing it too. I just pointed out last
Yell
hour.
at me while you're trying to search for them.
I got them. They're right here. Do you see?
I see them now. Yeah, thank you.
Good gravy. Okay, and they
Taco Bell. This I found interesting. Taco Bell's releasing a hot and mild version of all-purpose seasoning that tastes like their sauces. That's interesting to me.
I have to tell you something. I've been eating Taco Bell.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
And enjoying it?
Yeah.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Did COVID rearrange your taste buds?
Maybe. Just one more way that 2020
It's a
can
symptom
kick
they don't
rocks.
tell you about.
Taste buds change.
What have you been
Restaurants
eating?
in which you think you hate, you actually are going to enjoy.
You've been on a vehement tirade against Taco Bell for years.
Here's the thing, okay? For people who are new to us, new to the back row, my husband's favorite fast food restaurant since he was a child has been Taco Bell.
And when we say favorite, we don't mean like, he'll go there, every now and then for more than other places. It's like any opportunity he gets.
Do you remember when it was our Sunday lunch? Every Sunday.
Every Sunday, yeah. That
Every
was the
Sunday.
big. That was their big special Sunday lunch.
It wasn't even discussed. It was just known. And I think that's probably when my hate for it started to really grow. And there's only so many things on the menu that I really enjoyed. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm eating it on a weekly basis, without even like being asked, hey, Taco Bell this week? Yeah? We still doing the thing? Mm-hmm. Without even being considered. That's where my hate for it began.
It became an impediment between you and your spouse.
Yeah. Until finally, I think it was maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month of ordering food, getting our Sunday lunch, and me not ordering anything until Chris was finally like, hey, what's up? Why aren't you getting food? I hate Taco Bell. He's like, what? Where did this come from? I don't understand.
Not always observant.
Yeah.
Chris is a good husband, but not always so observant.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm learning there. So maybe it's a husband flaw.
We're just going to take that soundbite and just replay it.
So but you've been eating it now. What have you been eating?
So I've gone back. What is it? The chicken bacon.
Oh, that chicken bacon club, man.
Okay. And here's another thing for
Club
anybody
chalupa.
who's new. I'm not a chicken person.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I know. Taco Bell and chicken. I don't know, Matt. I don't know. I've really been trying not to ask too many questions.
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it while it lasts.
Just been trying not to analyze the situation.
Is that the
too
only thing
much.
you've been eating?
No, chalupas in whole. I love chalupas.
All chalupas?
That is where, that's what I always got. Or the steak quesadilla. But sometimes, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The steak quesadilla can be hit or miss sometimes.
Their quesadillas are all hit or miss for me.
I don't get the sauce in it. The
I
creamy
don't.
jalapeno.
I hate that too. I don't understand.
It's disgusting.
I don't understand.
So that's typically what I'll get. And then just a soft taco.
Okay.
I'm not a crunchy taco fan because by the time you get it, it's a soft taco.
Yeah, not
anyway.
if you're ordering it for sure. The only way you get crunchy tacos from Taco Bell is if you're eating it right there.
Yeah.
Right then and there.
Oh, and chips and cheese.
Chips and cheese. Chips and cheese.
Not the nachos.
Not the
just
nachos,
the chips and
just the
cheese.
chips and cheese. If
Yep.
they remember the cheese.
It's true.
All right, let's see what else we get back to the topic of the day. We've got a taste test.
Wait, hold up.
Bet you forgot, didn't you?
Each Junk Food Tuesday, we taste test something new or odd or both. And today, Matt got to pick. And while I was excited, now I am fearful of my demise.
Now, in case that you aren't watching with us along on Twitch, we encourage you to, because that's why we chose the Tuesday show to be the one that we live stream when we record, either Friday nights or Saturday mornings. But we will put this video up with some highlights from the Twitch stream and our full taste test on our YouTube channel later in the week, because it's always better on video with a taste test. We are going to do something that we already talked about. We're going to taste something that we've already talked about today.
Okay. So what are you killing me with today? What is going to be on my tombstone as my death?
This could be really
Cause
good.
of death.
But I've also gotten read negative reviews about it.
Okay.
So I don't know which way it's going to go.
Great. What is it?
Oatmeal cream pie cereal.
hey!
Little Debbie's oatmeal cream pie. We're not going full bore here because I don't have milk in bowls. We're just going to be eating this dry. But does it taste
Like an
oatmeal cream pie? So you can see on it, it's got little specks.
Listen, I wish you would have brought milk.
I know, but you're also lactose intolerant.
Yeah, that's true. You could have just got almond milk.
Ugh. Okay. Again, another keto sidetrack. On keto, you can't have normal milk. Even skim milk has too many carbs in it. And so you have to drink like unsweet almond milk. But I recently found unsweet cashew milk.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be creamier and whatever. And in cereal, it was fine. Like I found some keto cereal at Walmart the other day. These do not look the same color at all. But I drank some of it by itself, and it's awful. I've had unsweet almond milk by itself, and it's fine. It doesn't really taste like much.
It has a more watery taste.
Right, but unsweet cashew milk is
Really?
vomiting.
That's a bummer.
So what does he smell like? Do they smell good?
They smell like cereal. that honestly, they kind of
Standard cereal.
Yeah. Kind of has that cardboard, like a
pour some.
sugary cardboard smell.
Pour some out for our little Debbies.
Yeah.
For our big Debras.
Big Deborah.
Big Deborah. Okay. Let's give it a shot.
Just a tiny little. I feel like they could
It's a
have
closed hole. Like why
like a
even have
mini donut, sort of.
Yeah. Why even have? See. You can see on the package. It looks like. Actually, I don't think I'd want them to look like that. They kind of look like they're
Ooh, you're
puckering,
right. Ew.
which you can use your imagination. Here,
Ew.
they just like almost closed Cheerios.
Okay, but this looks nothing like an oatmeal cream pie.
Not at all.
I don't understand.
But it does have like a frosting coating on it, so I guess that's where the cream flavor is supposed to come from. But again, looks very different than on the package. It's very white tinted as opposed to just the brown tint that looks similar to these pies up on this box.
I don't understand this.
Let's give it a shot. Here we go.
That's not an oatmeal cream pie. That's not an oatmeal cream pie at all.
I don't know what I'm tasting.
I know.
First of all, it like disappears.
It's a very quick flavor.
It's a quick flavor. It's also just a quick bite. Like you bite into it and it dissolves almost
That's true.
immediately.
Yeah. I don't understand. I'm about to put 3 in my mouth to see if I get like a punch of flavor really quick.
Okay, hold on. I'm starting to get some sort of spice flavor.
Yeah. The second one that I ate, I had almost like a spice cake flavor. Sort of like a spice
Kinda.
cake.
But also just the material that it's made out of, whatever it is, corn or whatever. its flavor is coming through too much. Like the natural flavor of whatever this ingredient is.
Don't waste your money, y'all. If you are an oatmeal cream pie lover and you have wondered and wanted to buy it, it doesn't taste anything like an oatmeal cream pie.
It's not good.
It's sweet.
It's too sweet for whatever it's trying to do. Okay, I will say that it is balancing the sweet with the spice flavor that you would kind of get with the oatmeal cream pie. But an oatmeal cream pie, it does not taste like.
No, it doesn't taste
at all.
It honestly, it tastes like a spice cake to me.
A little bit. It's got a little bit of a spice cake flavor. Like, is there not even oatmeal in this? It says creamy oatmeal puffs.
See, I don't understand. So that's what it's made out of, oatmeal. Y'all missed the mark. I am sorry, Kellogg's, but this is not.
And the spice flavoring that's still on my tongue is not pleasant.
Yeah.
It's not pleasant at all.
Not a fan.
Okay. Well, let's play a quick game.
Oh, okay.
We have a game on the back of this box, so let's do something fun with it. Which came first? So the answer's on the bottom, so I don't know either. Which came first, the cassette tape or the oatmeal cream pie? From Little Debbie.
Oatmeal cream pie.
Which came first, the camera phone or the cosmic brownie? That's a hard one. I feel like those would have been about the same
cosmic
time.
brownie.
Wow. ATM or Nutty Buddy wafer bars?
Ooh. But see, Nutty Buddies. I feel like these things have been around for.
But how long have ATMs been around? Do you remember a time in your life before ATMs existed? Because I don't.
No, but see, this is what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to consider my parents or my grandparents. And I feel like I know Nutty Buddies have been around for my parents' childhood.
Last one, email or Swiss cake rolls?
Oh, Swiss cake rolls.
I feel like, yeah. All right, let's see. The oatmeal cream pie came 2 years before the cassette tape.
Okay.
Nutty Buddy wafer bars came 7 years before the ATM. Swiss rolls came 11 years before email. And the cosmic brownies just 1 year before camera phones.
I was right
That
on
was real
all
close,
of them.
yeah. So all of them was that. And bonus fact, the very first oatmeal cream pies sold for 5 cents a piece.
Listen,
There's the redemption. That's the only good thing about this cereal is the cool stuff on the box.
I know my Little Debbie facts.
Before we go to break, I do want to point out on Twitch chat, Rachel said, today confirms my view that Mo is the cool one.
Aww.
You have a fan. I'm sure you have many fans, but you have a specific fan that's going to
Thanks,
compliment
Rachel.
you live in front of everybody, who's supposed to be one of my best friends, but whatever. You are one of my best friends. Rachel's supposed to be one of my best friends. She calls herself one of my best friends, but only when it benefits her, I've noticed.
Okay.
She knows what she did. We play Among Us on Tuesday night, and there was
I figured it was an Among Us
There
thing.
was a whole thing where we were best friends for a while. We were the best friend squad,
Oh.
and it was
And then she
it was
killed
me
you?
annoying her, essentially. No, then we went on a killing spree. Matt, you stabbed me in Among Us too much to be the cool one. She just said on Twitch, yeah. There was a whole night where we basically killed each other as much as possible, and we did a running thing of who could kill each other the most. And there's a highlight video on our LTN Radio YouTube channel. You can see which one of us did the best job. But no, it's fun. You should join us. If you're not joining us for Among Us night on Tuesday nights, like tonight, if you're hearing this on the radio right now, tonight, join us for Among Us. Join the LTN Discord server, lovethynerd.com/Discord, and get in that Among Us lobby and come have some fun because it's a really, really fun time. All right, we're going to take a break. Back to the Backroom Morning Show as things are winding down for the day.
But first, we're going to answer us anything question.
Well,
we're
like
not
we said,
going to ask the question.
we're not going to
We'll
ask it. We're going to answer it.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
going to ask you a question and then just wait here for your answer. We are live streaming on Twitch, and Twitch is asking us our questions today. We have one question we're going to get, and this is from OrioleJedi, our buddy. He asks us, how did we both meet? And so we addressed this that technically we met in church, but the initial meeting wasn't really an interaction per se. Just like, oh, I'm Mo, I'm Matt. So I
didn't go by Mo at that point.
You didn't. Yeah, you're right. You went by Megan. And it took me a really long time to even call you Mo after you did start going by Mo. Yes. But anyway, we're going to talk about our first interaction. Do you want to set up the story? Go ahead.
I would say it was 2014.
I think so. Yeah.
Summer of 2014, roughly July. I was serving in my very first year as VBS director here at our church, and it was a Sunday morning. The Saturday night before, we had finalized all the decorating details in the church, and then Sunday morning was supposed to be like our big VBS Sunday.
Right, we were going to be talking about it, right? Like it was the Sunday before launch.
Right.
So right, yeah.
Right. Actually, I think that year, did we launch on Sunday evening?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, we did, because we had CR on Thursday, so we were going to do Sunday through Wednesday as the thing.
Yep.
So it was going to start that night. Yeah.
And so the whole church was already decked out, decorated, set for the week, and the sanctuary had a huge waterfall.
Waterfall effect.
Yeah, made from tablecloths and lots of tape.
Lots of tape.
Lots of tape.
You had them You had them taped to our view screen, and they were like draped over like these big pillars that we have to give it that effect of kind of coming over a cliff.
Right. So how high do you think that is, really?
Pretty dang high. Like we're well above a story, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well above a story.
I think 1.5 stories tall, maybe.
Yeah. So our tallest ladder in the church was 15 foot.
Right.
And I had to go to the very top rung of that ladder. So, and
even then you were still stretching.
Yeah. Still had to stretch and stand on my tippy toes. So more than 15 feet.
Yeah.
Higher than 15 feet. Yeah. So go ahead. You can take over from here.
She did all that. I come in early on Sundays to get things set up, and that's something I still do, but that's something I did then. And I came in, and the first thing I noticed was most of that waterfall had fallen down. And I didn't know Megan all that well, so I believe I had to call a few different people and wake them up and say, hey, do you have Megan's phone number so I can call her? Megan was informed by me that this happened. She said, crap, okay, I'll be down there in a minute. So she came up early in the morning as well to get this fixed. And I'm in the back working, getting stuff ready for service, as I typically do, and I didn't really think anything of it. Megan's going to be up there doing whatever she's got to do. She busts out this 15-foot ladder. And again, like she said, climbs to the very, very top rung and is still stretching. And I'm like way in the back of the sanctuary in the sound booth, and I just keep looking up, and oh, that's not safe. Okay. And I just keep working, and I look back up again. I'm like, oh. I thought to myself, if she falls and dies, what am I going to tell her husband? I just sat there from the back and watched it happen. Nope. Okay. So I got up, and despite her protesting, she said, I'm okay. You don't need to stand there. I'm like, it's all right. I'm just going to put a hand on this ladder and just make sure it doesn't tip over and you don't die. Cause I can't just say I stood by and watched it happen.
Yeah.
Okay? I can't just say that. And so what wound up happening is we essentially just had a butt-long conversation as you were sitting there trying to fix that thing, because it took forever. And I think you had to come down a couple times. I think you resorted to duct tape.
Yeah.
Because that residue is still to this day on the bottom of that screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
To get that stuff stuck up on there. And because of that, you had to do it on the other side as well. And so it became like quite a long project. I think it took at least an hour.
Yeah.
Fixing that. So over that hour, we just talked and got to know each other, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so we've had a couple conversations after that, and about that time was when we were getting ready, I guess. No, I guess it was still a while before we started. About a year and a half later, we had started getting ready for the Back Row Baptist podcast. Me, John Berkey, Hillary Berkey, a couple other people were getting that started. Kevin Wellborn. Oh, Kevin would have been mad if I forgot him. Started that. And like I said, Mo and I had a few conversations since then, but not too many, but just enough to know that we got along really well.
Yeah.
And I invited her on, I think, the 4th or 5th episode. And by the 7th episode, I thought, okay, she needs to be on every episode. And so I invited her to be like, I was the one figure who wasn't going to rotate, and everybody else would rotate out who was going to be on the show. And I decided, no, she's going to join too. And so both of us are going to be the hosts, and we'll have rotating people that are, doing the show with us. Not necessarily guests. They're still like cast of the show, but we'd rotate out who those were.
Yeah.
And the rest was history at that point. I mean, we've been pretty close friends for a long time. She has scared me on multiple occasions that she was going to move, and I didn't know what I was going to do. I was ready this last time, and then you still wound up not moving.
Right.
But yeah, it's that's kind of how it's gone. And
Yeah.
most of our interactions have been based around back row stuff. Like even we don't hang out all that much. I mean, mostly now it's because of COVID, but we never really hung out all that much. We would come over whenever y'all did family things, but it's rare that we've gone out as two couples.
Yeah.
And that things just a few times.
Yeah.
Which is
kind of sad.
It's sad, but it's more of a byproduct of the fact that I don't have nights free. I don't really do that with anybody.
Yeah.
I think we like once every 2 months have the Berkeys over on a Friday night to watch a Marvel movie for one Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's only when we can convince the grandparents to watch the kids for the night. But yeah, it's just a rarity all around. But most of what we've done is here. But we've talked so much. This is our 331st episode of the morning show, in addition to about 120 some odd episodes of that podcast beforehand, all of which are about an hour to an hour and a half long. Some of them were a little shorter, but some of them have been longer. I mean, just count up how many hours that is of conversation between us. It's rare that now that we have stories that we haven't heard already.
Yeah.
It's almost like a marriage in that sense of like, okay, you can't really surprise me anymore with stories that you have.
Yeah.
Because we've just had so much talking. But we find out that we're very similar people, and our spouses are very similar people, and that's why we get along so well.
Yeah.
And to the foil of our spouses,
It's true. But
we're the bumbling idiots in our marriage. That's not always the case in your family, is it?
that may be very true. Yeah, which is why I said that it's sad that we don't hang out more as couples or as a family, because all four of us are so similar. There's many ways that it's kind of weird how similar the four of us are. And where Daedra and Chris are not similar, Daedra and I are similar, and you and Chris are similar.
Yeah, but those are a few places,
right?
But a few weird specific places.
Yes. Yeah. But I will say this: that very first conversation, it was 6:00 in the morning, and you Facebook messaged me, and that's how you said.
That's how it was. It was a Facebook message. That's
you
right.
You Facebook messaged me and said, "Hey."
I did wake up Daedra, though, I think.
Yeah.
She had your number.
Yeah. Just FYI, the waterfall fell, and I don't know why it's 6:00 in the morning. Probably because I didn't go to bed the night before until like 2 in the morning.
Right, because y'all were here decorating, and y'all did such a good job decorating the entire church in like a rainforest-esque type thing.
Yeah.
The whole dang church.
It was
ceiling to floor, every wall.
Yeah.
Very big displays, all handmade. None of this was bought or prefabbed or anything. This was stuff y'all all built. So y'all stayed up here late into the night.
Yeah, it was Journey Off the Map. That was the theme, that VBS theme. But that 6:00 in the morning Facebook message, and I just find it very humorous that 6 years later, am I doing the math right? Yeah, 6 years later, that's still how we communicate, is via Facebook Messenger.
At 6:30 in the morning.
It's true. It's true. But we don't text.
No.
We do not text. We legitimately only communicate through Facebook Messenger. So much so that last week,
Yeah.
Matt called me, and I'm pretty sure I can count on one hand how many times in 6 years that you've called me. And so I'm looking at the phone like,
Oh no.
oh God. Dear Lord, what is happening?
Something awful has occurred.
Please let him be okay. Please let his family be okay. Got to say a quick prayer. Got to prepare myself. Okay. Hello. And I think the first words were, I know it's weird that I'm calling you,
Yeah.
but.
That's exactly what I said. Hey,
Yeah.
don't freak out. Nothing's bad.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So truly, and without being cheesy, Matt is truly my best friend. Aside from Chris,
Yeah.
truly my best friend.
Best non-related, non-romantic friend.
Exactly. But to think that that's our only level of communication is Facebook
It is
Messenger
weird,
is just...
Well, and that's another thing, and we won't get into the whole thing because we're running long already,
Yeah.
but that's another thing that we talked about is how to have a quote-unquote workplace friendship with someone of the opposite spouse. And
Opposite sex.
Opposite spouse, opposite sex, without being, without letting the door open for any kind of improper communication, behavior, anything like that. And not
Right.
that that's something that we've ever worried about because we truly don't see each other in those ways. We tend to act more like brother and sister. But you have a responsibility to be prudent in those areas, especially as a believer. You understand that is you're supposed to protect your marriage above anything, especially when it comes to friendships. That's why in your vows you're saying you're putting yourself above all other relationships, and that includes your family, and that includes your friends, and all that. And that's why I don't understand couples where a spouse is like, well, I can have as many opposite sex friends as I want. And we can go hang out, just me and him, or me and her, whatever. And like, that's just like, that's setting yourself up for a dangerous precedent.
Yeah.
But I think that's one thing that we just always kind of both, we never really talked about it. I think we just both kind of already mentally agreed on the fact that we're not just going to be sitting here chatting or texting each other all the time. Cause
Right.
that's not respectful, I guess, of our spouse
Yeah.
and of our time. It's like
Yeah.
we're friends, and we will spend an appropriate amount of friend time together.
Yeah.
And most of that will be on air. So
It's true.
yeah, so that's how you got to do it, guys. That's
Yeah.
how you can do it. Do you have anything else to add? Are we good to go?
No, I think we're good to go.
Okay.
It truly is a funny story.
It is, yeah. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's you could have died. You could have died that day.
Yeah.
And then that would have ruined a lot of years, I think, for me, if I'd have saw you die right in front of me, even though I didn't know you at the time. I'd just be like, oh gosh, I could have saved her.
That would be a trauma that you probably never fully got over. I do remember thinking I kept looking at my watch, looking at the time, like, I am not going to get out of here. And I'm standing here in my pajamas. I still, green athletic shorts and a pink t-shirt. A pink Six Flags t-shirt that actually wasn't mine. It was Samantha's. Like, I still remember what I was wearing and standing there on that ladder thinking, I cannot take any more time. Otherwise, people are going to start showing up for church. And this is what I am in. Yeah.
Also, I didn't get anything ready for church then.
Yeah.
I had to really rush
Yeah.
to get through Sunday school to get stuff done. I was saying Brian is probably the most well known of the people that I have, just because Brian has been involved with pretty much every aspect of everything that we do. He jumped in with the radio station, with the morning show, with the Love Thy Nerd community, with the Back Row community. He's very active on the Twitch now, of course. He's one of our moderators here for the LTN Radio Twitch. Very, very active on the Discord. He's just everywhere. Everywhere that I am, Brian is. And that's pretty cool. He's a cool dude. Very
That's
nice.
why I was saying earlier when you were like, we need to be popular enough to have people.
Oh, so that you say,
That's-
Brian, make our wiki, man. Just every go listen to all
If your heart is
333
tingling,
episodes.
I'm talking to you.
Don't do that, Brian. I wouldn't want to subject you to having to listen to all our old episodes.
Just one
And
more.
remember, the reason that we do this, the reason Love Thy Nerd exists at all, is to show the love of Jesus to our nerdy neighbors. And even those of us who have been believers for a long time need to be reminded of that fact. And part of that is just hanging out and having community with you guys. You know, today we didn't really talk about a whole lot that had to do with Jesus or faith or anything of that nature. We just had fun talking about TV, and that's okay because we're doing it in the guise that makes you know that, hey, we love you. We want to hang out with you and just talk about random stuff. We want to spend our life with you. And that's important. Doing life with each other is important. And so lastly, of course, and we've already said it as we ended the show, but we'll say it again because it's the most important part. Jesus loves you, nerds. Have a good day.